Hi, Ron here. This video is going to show you how to use the ORE without necessarily having taken the expanded course. And this will show you what kind of value you can get out of it. And now this is really good for people who've taken our advanced course, our standard advanced course, and we're going to show you how you can use the ORE to your advantage even if you don't know exactly how to calculate it. Let's take a look at an example. Right here we have three charts. Now these three charts here I originally sent out on 12/16. Today is 12/19. This morning I sent it out to two other groups, long wave group and the waves and cycles group. And so let's say you received this chart on Friday, as you would if you were a member of the Andrews group or Precision Trader group. And the Andrews group, by the way, is a private group. And so you look at this chart and say, oh gee, that's nice, Ron's has an ORE in here. Okay, and you can see here that designated this point here as an ORE, and this is in the bonds, ZBH2. Now what you can do at this point is you can say, oh well, that's pretty, I'm going to have a nice weekend, it's Friday afternoon, market's closed, nothing I can do. So you can take a look at this again on Monday morning or perhaps Sunday afternoon and see if there's ways that this can be useful to you. And what you do is you apply the course methods, and one of the things you apply that I will not give out details here on is on the Janisch Golden Pivot Rule. You take a look and see if that's applicable, because that will probably give you a really good entry point. So in addition to that, there's other things that you can use that the course methods are well known for. Here's a treasury bond chart. You simply would have drawn the median lines. You can see them here. And whether you drew this one here, let's see what happens if you draw this one here. Okay. Yeah. Had you drawn your bigger one, you would have seen that prices dropped below the H. I personally use the smaller ones. And so this was your OR point, right? And so what you do is you see prices coming back down towards an H line. And as we all know, when prices are near an H line, they often reverse in trend. It isn't guaranteed, but it happens here and there. And so you apply your other course methods, for example, the Janisch Golden Pivot Rule and the other course methods that you have in your manual, in order to determine whether or not this is a nice place to enter the market. Remember, your OR thing was marked here. When you received the chart, this is how much data you had, and you had this much data here at 8 o'clock in the morning New York time. Bright and early for New Yorkers. Okay, so that's kind of cool. That's what happened in the bonds. Let's see if this worked anywhere else. Well, let's take a look here. What's a second chart? Second chart is EU. Okay, as you can see, prices went up to a median line here, and that's your ORE point. It also happens to be the ORE point. Okay. Okay. And so this is how much data we had at the end of the day Friday. Hey, really neat. Let's take a look what we have now. And was there an opportunity between, after having a nice day Saturday and maybe looking at the market on over the weekend to see if there's any kind of a nice entry opportunity? Well, lo and behold, and once again we can see that prices went up near an H line. And so when prices are up near an H line, you apply the course methods and you ask yourself, do you have does the Janisch Golden Pivot Rule apply here? And you look at the other course things in your course manual and in the many videos that I presented to you in taking the advanced course that help you determine whether or not this is likely to be a pivot, right? So there's Willie, for example, the Willie signal, and you do that. So this is what you have. Okay, now let's move on to ES, stock market. Let's see, what do we have? Okay, so where was our ORE point in the stock market? In the ES? Oh, in the ES we had it right over here. Okay, and so, oh well, way down here, and your H line isn't until out there. Well, gee whiz. So let's take a look at that. Well, surprise, surprise. Here's the chart. And now let's look back at this real quick. And remember that ORE point that came in a little over 1220? And this is the H2 chart, right? Came in a little over 1220 over here. Okay. And here it is right there. Okay. And remember I said, watch that H line, right? And draw your other course lines. And make sure you take a look and see if the Janisch Golden Pivot Rule applies. That's found in your manual. And you'll see. This was absolutely beautiful, really, really easy. And 7 o'clock this morning, 8 o'clock New York time. Bada bee, bada boom. That was your high today. And this was the original OR point. So this is really kind of interesting, knowing that there's an OR point up here, and then applying the course methods when prices come back for a pullback. All right. So one of the advantages that you have as a course member is you can draw your lines. And as I wrote in an article a long, long time ago, after prices zoom the ML, they retrace back and then go further in the original direction. Okay, and you can see they zoom the ML here, retrace back. There we go. So anyway, this is, I believe, is very useful and helpful to people who have the course methods under control, these advanced course methods, and would like to see how the ORE is useful to them. Okay, so I will publish here and there the ORE charts to course members. Sometimes I'll publish them and put them out to non-course members so that people get a feel for how the things work, and that should give you a pretty good idea. Anyway, I thank you for your time and see you next time.